We're asking the real question. What happens when a player wins Super Bowl MVP, then walks out the door?
Not retires, not runs it back. We're talking about the ones that win the biggest award on the biggest stage and then hit free agency.
And sometimes that Lombardi glow fades real fast.
Yeah. Now, was that smart business? Was that chasing the bag? Or were they just system players who could never recreate their magic? So tonight, we are going to break down the 3 Super Bowl MVPs who left right after winning it all and how it really worked out. So let's start with the most controversial one. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get going with this. And we are going to start with Super Bowl 30, and I'll let you take from there.
Super Bowl 30, the Dallas Cowboys win their 5th title.
Yep.
And cornerback Larry Brown becomes the MVP after intercepting Neil O'Donnell twice.
Yep.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, could have seen that coming.
No, not even me. I mean, we're talking about, watching the game and going, where did this guy come from, right? And here's where it gets interesting, though, okay? Brown hits free agency immediately after the Super Bowl. And then the Raiders come in and go, oh, my God. They're just like, oh, my God, we're going to sign a Super Bowl MVP. So the Raiders come in, they give him a 5-year, $12.5 million contract, which at the time was big money. That was big money in the 90s.
That'd be like, what, a 50 to 100 million contract today?
Yeah, somewhere around in there. I mean, 5 years. He probably wouldn't sign for 5 years. If it was today, it'd probably be more like a 4-year, whatever it is. So if you divide 5, it'd be like 2.5 million back then, which you could inflate it to now. So yeah, it'd probably be about, I wouldn't say 100 million, 150 million. I would say probably around in the 60, 70 million range for a cornerback. I mean, I don't know what they sign nowadays. You might know that a little bit because your team has signed cornerbacks. My team usually doesn't sign cornerbacks unless they're re-signing a cornerback and then they overpay.
Yes. Well, regardless of what the cost was, Dallas fans said let him walk, and Raiders fans said we just stole Super Bowl MVP. So what ended up happening?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I mean, he only played 12 games in 2 seasons, right? 12 games in 2 seasons. So no, back then the season was still 16 games, right?
Yes.
So he played
3 quarters of
3 quarters
total over.
Well, I mean, 12 games in 2 seasons.
Yeah. So
32 teams. I don't even know that is that a quarter? So if you divide,
it'd be like, it's just over a quarter.
Yeah, it would be over a quarter because I mean, if a quarter would be about 8 games.
But then again, if you think about the divisional rival matchups that were 2 a year, then it's like more like 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah. So then he only plays 12 games in 2 seasons, loses his starting job, gets suspended, and then eventually gets released. I mean, that's not a dip. That is a full, total, blown collapse with Larry Brown. So, I mean, it was something that and even at the time, I was like, ooh, I mean, he did good for 1 game. Do you really want to pay him that much?
Yeah, I mean, like
that many.
I mean, like this was the epitome of. I think he is a really good example of a 1-game wonder or a pay it off on one hot night situation.
Yeah,
was he clutch on that night? Yes, but was he elite? That's a different story.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that when it comes to this, was he elite? No. I mean, he proved that 12 games in 2 seasons is not elite, right?
Yeah.
So the lesson here from Super Bowl 30 is that the Super Bowl MVP doesn't always mean that he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, sometimes it's just right place, right moment.
Yes.
And Larry Brown was in the right place
at the
right moment twice, where Neil O'Donnell threw the ball, made him the Super Bowl MVP, and the Raiders go, oh my God, we're getting a Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, let's pay him $12.5 million for 5 years. So,
and he was never heard from again.
And he was never heard from again. So, all right. So that was Larry Brown, Super Bowl 30 MVP with the Dallas Cowboys when they defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, all right. So let's go to a lesser controversial one. Okay. So now we're going to move on into a guy who is part of a statue outside of a stadium in the city of Philly. And we are talking about Nick Foles, legend in one city, questions everywhere else. So now this one gets emotional, right? This one gets emotional because you're talking about Nick Foles in Super Bowl 52, outduels Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest quarterback ever, according to people. Not only does he throw touchdowns, he also catches one in the Philly special.
Yeah. I could honestly make a strong argument for him having the single greatest quarterback performance in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I could make a solid argument for that.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, you could. And so with the Philly touchdown, the Philly special touchdown, now all of a sudden he becomes a Philadelphia icon forever.
Yeah. Just listen to the stat line. 373 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, along with his receiving touchdown. Mm-hmm. That wasn't just luck. That was legendary.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the twist. Okay? I'm going to throw a twist to you. He then hits a free agency in 2019. All right? Jacksonville signs him to a massive deal.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, really? So I'm watching Larry Brown all over again. 4 years, $88 million. 4 years, $88 million. Now, they thought they were they thought they were buying a franchise savior.
Yeah. Despite this man, I think at the time already being in his early 30s to mid 30s, they thought, oh, well, this is our guy. I'm like, yeah, you do have quarterbacks who do shine bright late into their careers. But the thing with him is he got injured in week 1, lost the starting job to Gardner Minshew, of all people.
Yeah, the mustache, right?
Yes. And so the Jags cut him, goes to Chicago with a backup role, proceeds to go to Indy with a short run. And then I believe he had like one more team after that and then called it a career and retired.
Yeah, he did. But so, one good year, Philly special. Yeah. I mean, he came in and replaced Carson Wentz.
Yes, Carson Wentz.
Going into the playoffs, got hot, had a tremendous Super Bowl.
Yes.
Gets MVP, leaves for Jacksonville, and then goes to Chicago, goes to a backup role there, and then he goes to Indy, and it's a very short run.
Yes.
So here's the real question, though. Was Foles great, or was the Eagles roster and the coaching staff the perfect storm?
Whew. That's a pretty good question. Well, some players are system fits, and some cities unlock something special. And outside Philly, it just never felt the same. I think that personally, in my opinion, I think the team just came together that season. When Nick Foles, I'm like, he wasn't on the level of Larry Brown because he was an experienced backup. I recently watched a video where in 2013, just in a random regular season game, he had one of the greatest games ever. He threw for like 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. So it wasn't his first huge moment. He's been a vital backup for years up to this point.
Yeah, and I will say this, but here's the difference between him and Larry Brown. So Foles' legacy is secure, right?
Yes.
That statue in Philly, right? And it's not going anywhere. Larry Brown does not have a statue in Oakland or LA. I mean, yeah, basically Oakland. They're not there anymore. They're not there. They're in LA. There's no statue outside of the spaceship part 2 that is Allegiant?
The toilet bowl.
The toilet bowl in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So, I would say Larry Brown here, Nick Foles here, icon, because of what he did in the Super Bowl and the run and all that. I mean, after that, kind of went down.
I get at the end of the day, he was a backup, but in my personal opinion, I think after that Super Bowl, he secured himself as one of, if not the greatest backup quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
So, Nick Foles, for him, I think just the right team, and he just happened to come in at the perfect time. But yeah, Nick Foles, Super Bowl 52, never will be forgotten at all.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next one. And my question to you is, the modern question is, can this happen again?
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting in the modern day NFL. Quarterbacks and skill players win MVPs, contracts explode.
Yep.
If a Super Bowl MVP were to hit the market today, at minimum, that's 40 to 50 million a year. Yep. No doubt about it.
Yep. And the pressure would be insane, right?
Yes.
Because you're not just paid to be good. I mean, you're getting paid to repeat that greatness, right? That locker room expects leadership. The fan base is going to expect February football.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what you're supposed to bring. And so can that happen again? I don't know.
Yeah. And history tells us something important. Winning a Super Bowl MVP doesn't guarantee you carry a franchise.
Yeah. So sometimes the guarantees expectation, you just can't meet. Right? I mean, as a player, you're like, okay, you're coming through as a Super Bowl MVP. Now you're leaving. And sometimes it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be able to meet those expectations.
Yes.
So one of the things that I want to talk about is that the reason we are talking about this right now, it's happening again.
Yeah.
It's happening again. Seattle just won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And who is the MVP?
Kenneth Walker III.
And what is he this year?
A free agent.
A free agent.
Yes.
Now, is Seattle going to sign him again? Re-sign him? I don't know. There is talk that Denver needs a running back. Now, is Denver going to go the way of, are we going to dip into Seattle again? Now, remember, they traded for Russell Wilson, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But the talk is, what I'm hearing is that Kenneth Walker III could end up being a Bronco.
Yeah.
Now, will they do that? And if they do that, how much will they pay him? And had one good game, had a good playoff. Kind of reminds me of Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Well, but can he be that guy year in, year out who brings you February football?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, though, I think with him, it's a different situation than Brown and Foles, because he actually performed great all season. I mean, like, he was running the ball over everyone. I remember especially during week 16 when they just ran it with him nonstop against the Rams. Yeah. So I personally don't think that he was just like a right place, right time, or a one game fluke. But even then, even with his experience, Seattle could still be like, we don't want to resign you. So
yeah,
and
I mean, I guess potentially you're right, because I mean, I don't follow the NFC West like you do.
Yeah.
So I mean, all I saw from Kenneth Walker III was what he did in the playoffs in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, no,
but if you're telling me that he did good throughout the year, then okay. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah. But like I said, at the end of the day, either they could say, we don't want you back, or he could say, I don't want you, I want the bag.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, he could definitely could get resigned by Seattle.
Yeah.
Or he could be let go, and Denver might swoop in, or another team might swoop in. You know, they might have look at Kenneth Walker III through, rose-colored glasses and go, oh my God, we got a franchise savior here. And it could not. It could work. It could not work. Only time will tell, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's go. I want to do a little debate segment with you.
Okay.
Okay. So let me start. By doing this. Let me ask you this: if you win Super Bowl MVP, are you obligated to run it back with your team?
I'm gonna be honest. I think this actually depends on the situation, because normally, if you maintain most of your core and keep your staff, you're going to want to stay with the team, have a chance to go back to back. But I think, especially with this past season, because the whole team is getting sold. They're about to change ownership.
Oh, yeah.
And I think personally that kind of provides a little bit of a rocky road for the future. So in a situation like this, I would say not to stay, take the money, go somewhere else, because careers are short.
Yeah, but legacy lasts forever, though.
Yeah, but look, like I said, this could go either one of two ways. Either the new ownership could succeed exceptionally and they go win another one, or they could fall off a cliff and not be seen again. And I personally think that, especially this year, there's not going to be an in-between. Yeah. They're either going to be bottom of the division next year, or they're going to run it back at least to the NFC Championship again.
Right.
So, but that's what I think. I think in this situation, at least, I'm leaving. I'm taking the money, go somewhere else. Possibly another contender. That's the ideal location. But yeah, just go somewhere else and take the money.
Okay. Well, I mean, but again, like I said, legacy lasts forever.
Yeah. So does generational wealth.
See, this is a divide. Okay. This is the divide because do you chase rings or do you secure the bag?
Depends. Are you Brady or are you a guy who just had the best game of your life?
True. Touche. I mean, that's fine. Yeah. But again, are you going to chase the money or are you going to chase legacy? I mean, in the long run, yes. Okay. It's generational wealth. Yeah. Right. To me, that's fine. I can go make money, but legacy is important. I mean, you're talking about, look at a legacy like Tom Brady. Okay. The guy has how many rings?
7.
Did he earn generational wealth with the Patriots?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
But did he earn the type of generational wealth that he could have had? No. Because he always gave him a discount, right?
Yeah.
Because he was chasing the legacy. To him, the ring was more important than chasing the bag.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, maybe I can still make a little money, but the legacy is there forever. And as much as I don't like the guy, he does have 7 Super Bowl rings, and he cemented his legacy as one of the greatest ever. So, all right, with that, here's what I want to say, and here's what we learned. Okay, Super Bowl MVP is a moment. Okay, it's sustained greatness. It's a career. Okay. Super Bowl moment MVP is just a moment, but a sustained greatness is a career. So some players cash out and it works. Some cash out and it disappears. Right? Am I correct about that? Okay. So, but every single one of them is going to bet on themselves.
Yeah, and that at the end of the day, that's the gamble of free agency. Because once you leave that championship locker room, there's no more excuses. There's no more guarantees that you're gonna get to step on that field again, on that stage.
Yeah. So now it's my call to you guys out there. So in the comments, I want you to drop, if you win Super Bowl MVP, are you staying loyal or are you chasing the biggest contract possible ever? So let us know in the comments below. Are you, if you win the Super Bowl MVP, are you going to chase the biggest contract possible, or are you going to stay loyal to your team and the fan base where you were at? So, all right. I like it. You know what? This idea for this show, I was like, oh, here we go. We got another Super Bowl MVP who's about to hit free agency. First thing that came to my mind was Larry Brown. So I was like, cool, let's do a show about this. So, and we did. So, out there, let us know what you think in the comments as well. Does this make sense? What would you do? What would you want your team to do? What would you want your favorite player, if you won Super Bowl MVP, what would you want him to do? Let us know down in the comments. So that brings us to the end of our show. And as always, I end with this. You are my pride and joy, and I love you. And this is Bloodline Sports. It's all relative.
Goodbye, everyone.